How's it going, guys? We're gonna do a cheap active versus expensive active pickup shootout today. We're gonna try two different guitars. They are both in different tunings. One's in C standard and the other one's in drop B. But we're gonna keep the settings on the amp the same. I will show you everything I've got set up on that in just a moment. But I am curious to see how these cheaper, we should say, ESP active pickups stand up to the Fishman moderns. I just picked up this guitar. I'm completely blown away how this LTD sounds. I didn't think these active ESP pickups were gonna sound great, and I would have to swap them out. And honestly, I'm not gonna do a thing to it. All I did was put fresh strings on it, put it in C standard, and it's set up beautifully. Let me show it to you. Here it is. It's an LTD M 330 RFM. Has a reverse headstock, blue flame maple, and there's those ESP active pickups. It's kind of hard to see. This guitar is a little bit older. The label has worn off, but I did pull these out of the cavity and looked at them, and they are in fact the ESP ones. Bolt on. Get this set up here so you guys can see. Bolt on, 3-piece maple neck. There's your battery spot. Pretty sweet deal. I got it for an incredible deal. Here's the Epiphone. It's an Epiphone Prophecy Les Paul Custom. And this thing is for sure one of my all-time favorite guitars. There's the Fishman's. Same old Epiphone stuff, set neck, but has locking tuners. And there's your battery input for the Epiphone. All right, so the string gauges I've got on for C standard is a 12 to 56, and then the Epiphone is a 12 to 60. All right, this is what we're gonna rock for the amp. It's PRS MT15. You could go ahead and see the settings. I've got everything set on down here. Pretty simple. It's going into my Brigera oversized 412 cab. And then pedals, I've just got a Widowmaker. It's a boost pedal. And then I've got a TC Electronic Polytune. That's it. Everything's just going straight to the face. Let's see how they sound.
All right, guys, let's go and get ready to try these out. I wanted to go and throw this on there too. I feel like you don't always hear what people are using for picks. Just using these Jen Dunlop Jazz 3s. Really good friend of mine, his name's Kyle. He actually sent me some of these. He's been using these for, I don't know, years at this point now. And I used to think this specific version of the Jazz 3 was the most uncomfortable, most unforgiving, horrible pick of all time. And he'd probably think that's hilarious. I was really into these because they're a whole lot different, but they're not. It's Jazz 3 Nyla grip. And I used that for a long time, and I was using some other picks that were just a little bit bigger. I really got into these bigger style. I think I talked about it in one of my other videos. It's just like a big, basically, Jazz 3. This thing's quite a bit bigger. I don't know if you guys could see that real well on there. Quite a bit different in size, but I have been using this thing nonstop now, and it's like the only pick that I could use to play with now. So, Kyle, thanks, bud. Appreciate it. All right, let's hear what they sound like. All right, C standard. with the Fishmans. My predictions is the Fishmans are probably going to have more punch and clarity to them. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Here we go. Let me know. I predicted the Fishmans are going to be a little bit more oomph and clarity. I would for sure say clarity in the room sound Fishmans. A little bit more of that low end bite. ESP active pickups. I both think that they sounded really well. I didn't tweak anything on the amp, didn't tweak anything on the pedals. You guys have to let me know. Obviously they're in different tunings. They're not too far different from each other, but you guys have to let me know. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Y'all have a great day.